Good morning from Apple Joe Farms. This is Joanna, and this morning we are going to talk about a question: when do you need to stop bottle feeding? And so that question is really quite good. You can bottle feed kids, goat kids, too long. And while the milk in itself is harmless, keeping them on the bottle past 12 weeks causes developmental issues. And the other thing about it is that prolonged bottle feeding delays essential rumen development, keeps kids overly dependent on you, which you are going to end up seeing that in an ongoing need as they grow into adulthood to have you near them. A lot of crying, and so we don't want to encourage an overly dependent goat. And the other thing is, it can be quite costly if you're bottle feeding too long. Well, I'm sure at this point that these girls would disagree with this because they do love their bottles, that's for sure. Why you can do this too long? What's the reasoning? Goats are ruminants, and if you feed that liquid diet too long, their rumen does not develop the bacteria that's needed to digest their roughage, their hay, their feed. Also, there's the fact of nutritional deficiencies. After 12 weeks, the milk no longer provides the complete nutritional profile that a growing goat needs. And as I mentioned, there's the behavioral issues. Goats that are bottle fed for too long will permanently view humans as their mothers. And while that sounds really sweet, it often leads to aggressive and overly demanding behavior, even into adulthood and really the rest of their life. And then, of course, we talked about the economic cost of feeding goats milk. If you're not milking several does, it's costly to buy milk replacer or just buying whole milk at the store. And so that going beyond the standard weaning window really does get expensive. Now, let's talk about the weaning process of a baby goat. Now, this information comes from Mark at Pack Goat. He has so many great videos about taking care of goats, and he's quite an authority. So if you get a chance, you have questions, feel free to please watch his videos. He also go on his website. He's got a great website too. So the baby goat weaning process for most, in my case, it's 8 to 10 weeks, but he says 12 to 16 weeks. I do think that that's a little bit out there too far, but here's the thing. Making grass hay, mineral and water available, free choice all the time while your babies are growing. And we're talking about after the first couple of weeks, you're going to want to provide free choice mineral. And I always have grass hay from the time that they're born. You know, they're not going to eat it at the time that they're born, but they'll start playing with it and kind of exploring a little bit until they start actually eating. Hi, Bonnie. And so when they are eating and drinking bottles, yes, you want to understand that their rumen is working. And how do we know it's working? Well, when their feces go from that little yellow-looking consistency, sometimes kind of soft, to black normal feces. And some people just do a cold turkey process when they're weaning. But I've been finding that decreasing down to a half a bottle and then a quarter bottle at that 8 weeks for my boys, 10 weeks for my girls, really, really helps for that transition. I think that's really been working out really good for me. Some choose to do it a little bit more gradually. So if you'd like to do that method, you're looking at an 8-day process. Start from approximately using the 20 ounces for a day, moving them next day to 16 ounces. Do that for 2 days. Then 12 ounces for 2 days, 8 ounces for 2 days, 4 ounces for 2 days, and then finally you can quit. So again, while it is harmless to keep the babies on milk for 12 weeks, some people say 14 weeks, it is not harmless to keep them on milk longer than that. Prolonged bottle feeding delays essential rumen development. And again, keeping your kids overly dependent on you with actually causing behavioral problems as they grow into adulthood. So I hope that this has helped. I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. It looks like our Livy is cleaning up on the milk bar. This was her first time on the milk bar, and so I think she did really, really good. Well, I appreciate that we got a nice question here. I think it's very helpful to all of us. I learned from doing research on this as well, understanding about that, we don't want to cause their rumen to be undeveloped. They're ruminants. If you feed that liquid diet too long, the rumen doesn't develop the bacteria needed to digest roughage or hay. Look at this long, beautiful baby here, Bonnie. Well, she comes from Celtic Pride, and she has a Wolfovan sire. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she turns into. Very excited. As well as these two babies. These are my babies, and they are for sale. This is Petunia's babies. Look on my website, learn about the amazing genetics and the fact that these two little girls, the one in the front there, the black and white one over here, that's Scarlet. This is Blossom. They have an amazing sire as well. On the dam side, they've got all these great Sugar Moon genetics, but on the sire side, their sire is McGibbony. Well, who's McGibbony? He is the son of famous Kona, the 2,100 plus pound per year milker. And she, of course, is here on the farm. We're hoping that she possibly will have a baby this year. She is a very senior doe, and so we're not going to push it, but she still seems very healthy. We're doing all we can to make her last years very, very comfortable, and she gets a lot of special attention. She deserves it. And so, do you want to say goodbye? I know, you're so curious. You're so curious, aren't you, Bonnie? Yes, what's going on here today, girls? It's cold outside, so we're in the barn for the morning. It is cold and wet and rainy. Believe it, folks, that they can still get pneumonia. So these little girls are spending the morning in the barn. Now, on that note, understand that all of these kids get pneumonia vaccine shots. And to date, none of them have had pneumonia. So, yes, I believe it does work. Well, hope everything is going great at your homestead. Thank you so much for watching. And please like and subscribe and get on over to the Facebook where we have our group, Nigerian dwarf dairy goats on the homestead, and enjoy your day.